Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are doing a review on the Thomas & Friends The Big Book of Engines book. So without further ado, let's get started. Here's the front cover, Big Book of Engines. Here's a list of all the engines that appear in the book. You can take your time to read that if you want. Here's Thomas. He's using both his CGI promo images as well as his 2000s era promo images, although this image is edited with his CGI face. These two images right here remain unedited. Here's Gordon. Now the reason why they skipped over Edward and Henry is because this book was made post season 21, so by that time Edward and Henry were already given the boot. Here's the Spot the Difference game. Here's Emily's page. You can see her 2000s promo art images there. Here's Percy. Here's Nia. Here's James. And here's Rebecca. Now that we're done with the Steam team, let's get on to the other characters. Here we have Alfie, as well as Annie and Clarabelle, who are still using their 2000s promo era images. Arthur. I really like that they added some model series only characters in this. They didn't just go with only CGI characters. Ashima, Bash and Dash, Belle, Birdie, Bill and Ben, Billy, another model era only character, Bulgy, who's still using his 2000s promo era images, Captain, Charlie. I like that both Billy and Charlie appeared in this book together. Cranky, who's still using his old 2000s promo era images. Daisy. Darcy. Dennis, yet another model character. Diesel. Diesel 10. Donald and Douglas. And also on Donald Douglas's bio, it says that Boko is mentioned, but he doesn't appear in the book. We also got Duchess, Duck, Duncan. For some reason, the only narrow gauge engines they added in this book were like Duncan, Freddy, Victor, and that's about it. Why didn't they add like the other narrow gauge engines like Scarloey and Rheneas? Edward, we finally get to Edward after he was skipped over earlier. Elizabeth, Etienne, Ferdinand, Fergus, another model character, and Flora, also another model character. Although she does also technically count as a CGI character since she had a CGI face in season 12. Flynn, Frankie, Fearless Freddy. I don't get why they didn't add Scarloey and Rheneas in this book. They're the OG narrow gauge engines. Same goes with Sir Handel and Peter Sam, as well as Rusty and Duke. Gabriella, Gina, Gustavo, Harold the helicopter, Harvey, Hector, another model character, and finally Henry after he was skipped over earlier. Hero, Hong Mei, Hurricane, Iron Airy and Iron Bert, Jack, Kenji, who was a new character at the time, Kevin, Lorenzo, and Beppe, Madge, who is also another model character, Mavis, who hasn't appeared since season 21 but is now returning in the new reboot, Merlin, Neville, who is another model character. Again, I really like that they put model series only characters in this book. Noorjahan, Oliver, Rajiv, Raul, Rosie, Salty, Rosie's in her new red livery, Shane, Sonny, Spencer, Stefano. I have the Stefano toy, by the way. Terrence, who's still using his old promo art images. I think this is Terrence's old promo images from the Owen Bell era, when Owen Bell was the main promo art illustrator of all Thomas promo material during the 90s. It's crazy that Terrence's old promo art is the only surviving one of Owen Bell's artwork in current Thomas promotional images. Toby, the Troublesome Trucks. Victor, Whiff. Yongbao, some railway rhymes. As well as a checklist of every single character in this book. Again, I wish they added more characters in this book, because this book is called the Big Book of Engines, but they're not. But for some reason, not every engine appears in this book. Here we got a picture of Sodor. We have Thomas, Pollyanny, and Clarabelle. Birdie, Top Hat's car. Henry, Gordon, Emily, Hero, Edward, Charlie, James, and Percy. I feel like this promo art image was made around like 2010 or 2011, because at that time, both Hero and Charlie were still relatively new characters, and this was around the time they started using CGI images for every piece of promotional art material. We have a little quiz game, as well as a picture of Thomas and Diesel, and a great race game, as well as a picture of engines 1 through 6 and Harold and Cranky and Sir Topham Hatt. And so yeah, this was the Big Book of Engines. Overall, this book was very underwhelming in my opinion. I liked it, but I just wish there was more engines in this book. I wish there was more to this book. You know, with a title like The Big Book of Engines, you'd expect like every engine and other character to be in this book, but no, they're not. Anyways, that's the end of the video now. Bye.